Doctor Who Tooth and Claw, the second episode of Series 2, is written by Russell T Davies and starring David Tennant and Billie Piper. So this episode is set in Scotland in 1879, where the Doctor and Rose arrived in, and we have a group of warrior monks using an alien werewolf to take over the British Empire. So if the werewolf bites Queen Victoria, it begins the Empire of the Wolf. Which is interesting. I think these monks are pretty badass, the way they attacked and the slow motion of them jumping like the Matrix style. I think Ian Hanmore as Father Angelo, the leader of the monks, is so good. When the Doctor introduced himself as James McCrimmon, that's the reference of Jamie McCrimmon, who's known to wear kilts and companion of the second Doctor. I love the nakedness joke. I thought it was pretty funny. Pauline Collins is great at Queen Victoria. That's how I imagined what she's like during Victorian times in real life. I also liked when Rose throughout this episode hoping that she can get the Queen saying that she's not amused. I was like, oh yes. It's absolutely scary in the close-up on the host's mouth when he's shushing those people like this, the one who turns into werewolf. I'd watch this on Halloween. Especially when I watched it at 7, I was thinking, am I watching a series that was made for family, or is it an adult show like Supernatural? Because it's really scary. Poor Sir Robert, who has to lie to the Queen, otherwise his wife Lady Isabel would get devoured, which is so threatening. So when Rose was about to get changed, she finds Flora, the only cook that managed to get away from those monks, while the other people in that house, well except Robert, are locked up with a host. So yeah, Rose and Flora got captured by these monks while examining the unconscious soldier. Meanwhile, the Doctor has a dinner with the Queen, Sir Robert and Captain Reynolds, talking about the wolf stories. The moments they realised something is wrong was when they saw Father Angelo talking to the other monks through the window. So while they rescued the others, monks let the moonlight shine to the host and he turns into werewolf. And I liked how the Doctor was like, oh that's beautiful, just before he dodged the piece of the cage the werewolf was throwing. And of course, never mess with the Queen when Father Angelo was like, oh I don't think so, woman. And Victoria replied, the correct form of address is Your Majesty, and she shot him. I love the running scene from Werewolf, it's a blast to watch. This is like those movies you see in Sci-Fi Channel or a disaster movie where it's about monsters and you have to run away from them and find a way to destroy them, and I love stuff like that. Even when I was a kid, the series is like this in particular in this episode, and I really loved it. The way the werewolf eats, the sound effect is brutal and graphical, but thank God we don't get to see blood and gore, because well, the repercussions would be a disaster. The effects on the werewolf has held up pretty well for its time. It's an unusual episode effects as they have guest visual effects artist, because the wolf have to be close-ups and animal hair, and I can imagine it was hard to do, but they've done it so well. So yeah, Queen Victoria may likes the story, but when it becomes real life and it's in her world, she's like, I am not having that. As a result, after the defeat of the wolf, she wasn't amused winning Rose's bet, and Victoria has banished the Doctor and Rose from her world. And I liked how the Doctor points out that the books are the best weapons in the world, because, you know, the books can give you knowledges that you need, if there wasn't any computers or anything like that. I think it's a great setup for Torchwood in the ending scene. The diamond is pretty interesting. Victoria's husband has cut the diamond in order to save her life, according to the Doctor. And yeah, that's what they use for the moonlight laser beam to deflect it to the werewolf, and which Sir Robert risked his life to give them time to do so. And I think Derek Riddle did really well, and so all the casts really. I thought that effect when it turns into a man was really cool. Murray's Gold music in this episode is well done. I really love that episode, it's so scary and good. What are your thoughts of Tooth and Claw? Let me know in the comments down below. Thanks for watching, I'll see you in the next video.